In this video, you're going to learn how to deal with frenemies and other coworkers who gossip with you and about you. All right, so there are different ways that people gossip either with you or about you at work. Number one, people bring gossip to you that is about you. That's the person who comes up and says to you something like,
"Hey, there's something I think you should know."
This is one of those times where you want to cut people off as they're speaking. Once you break in, here are some power phrases for you to use. John, I have to stop you there and tell you that I will be bringing this up to Mary the next time I see her. And my experience tells me that the one who will most likely be labeled as a gossip will be you for telling me something that someone said about me that really was not meant for my ears. So with that in mind, are you sure you want to proceed? Now, if they regain their senses and say something like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean to gossip," great, then use a transitional phrase to move along to another subject. However, if they do go ahead and repeat it anyway, you have kind of two options that I'd recommend. Number one, well, I won't be sharing that with Mary, but I will from now on be more cautious about sharing things with you. Let people know that, if somebody is going to be gossiping with you, even if it's about you, make sure to let them know that you are aware of that and you will be now changing the way you communicate with them and be more careful with what you reveal to them based on what they just said to you. If they do, however, say, "I'm sorry, I'm regaining my senses, I didn't mean to be a gossip," encourage people and tell them something like, "I think that's a wise choice and I understand." And then again, use a transitional phrase to transition from that subject to any other subject. And you can do that with two great transitional phrases that work for anything. "That reminds me," and "by the way." Remember, "by the way" and "that reminds me" can transition from any subject to any other subject and make them seem like they are somehow connected even when they are not. So use them when you want to transition away from an awkward situation like this. "By the way," and transition, or "that reminds me," or you can even use both. "By the way, that reminds me." And if anyone ever does question your logic, your reasoning, and say to you something like, "How did what I just said or what we were just talking about remind you of that?" Well, the mind is a mysterious thing. By the way that I have found to be a really savvy, direct, clear way to tell somebody, hey, that person that you think is your friend, they are not, and they gossip about you and they talk about you without really getting into it. If the other person brings them up, just mention to them, they are not your friend. And if they say something like, "What do you mean?" just repeat that. "I'm just telling you they're not your friend. I am your friend, so I'm telling you that. They are not." And if they push it as to, "What did they say?" or "Why are you saying that?" just remember the broken record, stick to your guns. Someday when the truth comes to light that person that you have warned them about truly is not their friend, they will remember that and think, wow, that was cool that not only did they warn me, they did not engage in any gossip. They just did what a friend should do. So consider saying that the next time you want to tell a friend or warn a friend about a frenemy or coworker that is gossiping about them. So number two, people bring gossip to you that's about someone else. For example, somebody comes up to you and they may say something such as,
"Hey, have you noticed how Mary and Tom tend to go to lunch at the same time and return at the same time every day?"
In those cases, I recommend that you set the boundary and you let somebody know, I try not to insert myself into Mary or Tom's personal business. Let people know I'm not putting myself in their business because it's not my business. At work, it tends to be this way. There are three types of business that you will find in the workplace. There is your business, my business, and none of my business. So if something does not fall into the my business category, I really should not be giving my opinion or giving it any of my attention at all. So if I have drawn that line in the sand, you can tell them that way, and it tends to be easier on the ears for the other person. And you can always tell people, yeah, I don't have an opinion of Tom or Mary's personal business, which is letting them know you may have an opinion, I do not. And I'm going on record as saying, I do not. Number three, people try to get you to be a part of gossip about somebody else. Here's how this one goes. People come up to you and they say things like,
"Hey, have you noticed how so-and-so is always doing blah, blah, blah? You work with so-and-so, right? Yeah, haven't you noticed how blah, blah, blah they are?"
People are trying to quote you so that they can get you on the record for saying something nasty about a coworker or colleague of yours. There are different ways you might consider responding to that. One way is, I'll tell you what I have noticed, and that is how some people can take a perfectly good career and a stellar reputation and ruin them both by gossiping about people that they really don't have any business gossiping about. So I, for one, don't have anything to say about Mary and her schedule. They'll get the hint. That one was worth a super thanks, right? So remember, for more tactics like this, subscribe to this channel. And if you wanted to go a step further, check out what it's like to be a member. I think you'd like that. And remember, if you don't become a member or join here, check out our other pages like our Patreon page, check out my website. Now, before you go anywhere, keep the momentum going and check out this video. I'll see you on the other side.